Welcome to another reaction video. Covert So Candor about Fresh's Deion Sanders. And I got a guest with me today. It's my grandpa.
The doctor.
We trolling y'all. But today, we both gonna be reacting to 3 school lockdown horror stories, animated. Alright. Now, typically, we don't react to this because we both kind of scary. Because I gotta sleep.
God.
You are scary. You know you scary. Alright. We gonna react to this because I gotta sleep by myself tonight, y'all. So please leave a like or do something, please. Alright, we finna go ahead and react to this.
Talk nicely.
The PA system crackled to life on a Thursday during second period in my junior year of high school. The familiar tones of the recorded voice filled my classroom.
Lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight. Lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight.
The words kept repeating as Mrs. Danbury paused at the board and looked up at the speaker in the corner of the room. "Okay, you all know what to do," she said, rushing toward the classroom door to shut and lock it. Nervous chatter went up among the students as we rose from our desks and moved into position against the wall. "Is this real?" my friend Colin asked as we sat on the floor with our backs to the wall. "Must be," I said. "They'd tell us if it was just a drill." The sound of helicopter rotors was faintly audible over the recorded voice of the lockdown alert, and the noise grew louder as we sat there in the dark classroom. After a few moments, it sounded like the helicopter was right over the school. A full minute passed before the helicopter moved again, the noise making it sound like it was going in circles above the campus. A loud bang, like a door flying open, sounded outside. Someone yelled in the hall, a sound that was quickly replaced by automatic gunfire. I slammed my hands over my ears, along with many other students. Some of the girls, and even a few of the boys, covered their mouths as they cried out softly.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base 44.
You gonna jump out the
More
window?
gunfire.
Hey, it all depends upon how far I am from
Why
the
would
ground.
you jump out of the window?
I don't want to be up there. They got guns and I don't. That don't make good sense.
But you don't know what's... You know what? That's not a bad idea, though.
I gotta look out the window to see how far I am from the ground. And if there's any ledges out there and stuff like that.
What if it's a tree or a bush? You gonna land in a tree or something like that?
No, I want to see how far I am from the ground. Now, if there's a tree close, that puts me closer to the ground. But I ain't gonna be up in there and they got guns and I don't. That's just not gonna work for me.
Nah, my question is, what is in there that you need a whole SWAT team of guns? And why am I still here?
Well,
Like,
you know, I mean, like she closed the door and locked it. They got guns.
whatever got in, how or what got in? How did
Right.
they even get... Yeah, we need to go.
Fire erupted out in the hallway. It sounded as if there were 4 or 5 guns firing. An inhuman screeching sound pierced the air, making my eyes go wide. I looked over at Mrs. Danbury, whose face was drained of all color. She was the nearest to the door, the nearest to whatever the hell was going on in the hallway. The gunfire stopped, and I heard a man shout and then scream. His wail of pain stopped.
I'm saying, why didn't they barricade the door?
Exactly. I don't know what their personal malfunction is.
I'm saying, like, if something is that bad out there, why ain't you ain't start? I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Stopped abruptly with a loud, crashing bang. I didn't have to see it to
Pocket knife. 'Cause I got to have something to play with.
I'm saying, look,
know that he'd been thrown into the lockers lining the hallway. The metallic bang was enough to tell me that. More gunfire sounded outside, and then more screaming. Then there was silence. For several seconds, we all listened hard for anything outside.
breathing heavy.
The recorded voice was still going, and the helicopter was still faintly audible. The sound of running footsteps suddenly came to us from the hall. The footsteps stopped abruptly, and a terrible scream erupted just before the door to our classroom smashed in. A SWAT officer flew backward into the room and slammed into Mrs. Danbury's desk, which slid several feet from the impact. Cries of fear came from the students around me as they saw the soldier was missing an arm. He'd hit the desk with his mid-back and had come to rest at an angle that told us his spine was broken. Once the soldier came to rest,
Be trying
there
to
was only
search him to
silence.
See if he's got a gun. First of all,
That's a good idea.
yeah,
That's a very
I'm looking for ways out. See, so now the speaker would have been unplugged and it would have been dark in there. That's off the rip. See, and then I'd have got a partner out there like, look, dude, you get on that side, I'm gonna get on this side.
But he right in front of the door though.
No,
You
get
gonna
on
grab
that
his
side.
body?
Yeah, well, it don't take much to see if he got something. But somebody's gonna be on one side of the door, and somebody's gonna be on the other side of the door. So now he comes through the door, right?
Yeah.
And he's on the floor. Don't move, because it's dark in there. That's number one. Number two, you look at him and see if he's got anything, but don't move yet. Wait for something or somebody to come through that door that's got a weapon. We're gonna rush his ass. Yeah, we're gonna rush him.
Yeah,
And
that's a
then we're
good
gonna
idea.
get in. And then we're gonna get over there by the desk, and anything else that come through that door, we're gonna let it in to see how many gonna come in behind it, and then we're gonna drop them. Don't come up in that plan.
Yeah, that's true. At the same time, I would just try to jump out the window. If the window's not too far, I'm just jumping out of the window.
That's the first thing you do.
And then it's dark too?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You're gonna darken that room. Yeah.
I don't want no smoke with nothing.
From the hall. It went on for long enough that I was starting to think the danger had passed. Mrs. Danbury apparently thought the same thing, because she crawled toward the doorway with a
Oh, my
Going
gosh.
right over there. That's what she's supposed to.
What's she gonna do?
They supposed to be over there. I tell you, you sit your head. You go over there and sit down, sweetie. Don't say a word. Don't even fart. Because we got this.
Don't even breathe too
Yeah,
hard.
exactly. Yeah.
smash door was hanging open. I don't know what she was trying to do, but as
Look
soon
at her, and then she got heels on.
as I saw her
I
move
hope she
toward the
don't
doorway,
stand up.
I wanted to tell her to stop. Still, I made no sound for fear of attracting whatever was outside, if there was anything there at all. She peeked her head around the door jamb to peer into the hall. Her left hand came up to her mouth as if trying to keep herself from getting sick. She stood up and turned around to face
Take
us.
them heels off.
Okay, we need to move to another classroom, she said.
Moving to another classroom for what?
Really?
What is that gonna do?
If you open up that door and run down that hallway about 35 or 40 miles an hour, whatever, whatever's out there, I'm gonna run over it.
I'm using her as a human shield. I'm not even gonna lie. She asked for it.
Yeah.
She asked for it.
They doing things really wrong.
I'm saying.
The hall looks
Nobody thinking of
a long, blistered, red and black arm with a claw-like hand darted down from the ceiling outside the doorway and grabbed Mrs. Danbury by the neck, stopping her words. It yanked her out of the classroom before any of us knew what was happening.
Why ain't
We-
you over there snatching his ass down?
You don't know what the freak that is? I don't know what it
It's got
is.
her. Snatch it. It's got her by the neck. It's got to have an arm. Yank it down. You gotta. When you in
got a
chaos,
gun.
you
You
gotta
need a
help
gun.
create chaos. But you know, make the chaos against them.
Nah, I need a
Y'all
gun.
sitting over there on the floor, be up against the wall, scared with their mouths open and shit. They tripping.
They just sitting there. Why? I would have left. Like,
Heard a scream and a thunk from outside. Then Mrs.
is she gonna run back in the classroom? Go out. Don't bring that in here.
He ain't got his neck. She ain't got it. They ain't got his neck no more.
Look at her arms. It took her arms.
It make me think she got something to do with it.
How she got something to do with it? Why don't she
Cause
sacrifice
they
her
let her
arms?
go. They ain't got her neck no more.
I'm finna see.
Danbury appeared in the doorway again, only she didn't have any arms. Blood spewed from her massive wounds as she stepped into the room, looking back over her shoulder with a dazed look on her.
Don't look at me. I ain't finna help you. I told you not to go out there. You went out there with no guns, no knife, no Nathan. If the SWAT members, I don't know what she thought. If the SWAT members can't handle whatever is outside, what makes you think you can handle it?
Let's see what's going on.
Her face.
All right.
What she saw there snapped her out of it, and she started running toward the wall of windows opposite the doorway. Fountains of blood poured out of her as she ran past her desk, screaming. A monstrous, scarred figure that looked like a badly burned mix between a bear and a baboon darted through the doorway after our teacher. It leapt, smashing into Mrs. Danbury just as she
That
reached
don't
the
look
window.
like no bear in the face.
The two of them tumbled out, falling to the ground just a few feet below. My teacher screamed once more outside before her vocalization stopped with a terrible ripping sound. All of us students stayed frozen against the wall.
What do you do now?
I ain't gonna be up in there with that bear. Because while he's chasing her, I'm going outside through the door.
You better go on the opposite side of where they came from. I'm hopping in the...
She ran from the door to the window.
I know, I'm leaving the school. I'm going into a SWAT car. I'm still in the car, and I'm driving home.
But where do the gunshots come from? Ain't no bear shot no gun.
The SWAT. Remember they said it was helicopters from the beginning of the story?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You know, a bear, I can deal with that.
That ain't no bear. It said it's a bear mixed with a baboon.
Whatever. I can outsmart him.
I'm killing it.
I just can't fight with him because whatever it is, it's way stronger than I am. But he can't make left and right turns as quick as I can getting out of there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Staring at the broken window, waiting for the thing to come back in.
Don't raise dragons right off the bat. For new players, at the start of the game, don't rush to raise dragons.
We should have run, but we didn't. It was all too much for us. Eventually, the gruesome sounds from outside stopped, but none of us were willing to risk standing up and moving toward the window to see what was happening.
Why would you do that in the first place? What scene was gonna happen?
They wanted someone to come in there and sprinkle some salt and pepper on them and eat their asses up. That's what that was. 'Cause no. I'm better on my feet than sitting on my butt. No.
You being curious at the wrong time.
Not long after those noises stopped, we heard a flurry of gunshots from far off, likely off the high school campus. Hearing those faraway shots snapped me out of shock. I stood up and moved slowly to the doorway. I looked out to see the hallway littered with dismembered bodies. There was blood all over the place. A man with a smashed head lay below a huge and bloody dent in several of the lockers across the hall. A few other guys and I led the rest of the class out. We headed toward the evacuation spot and were about halfway there when we ran into more police coming into the school. They took us to safety. We were told it was an escaped animal from the zoo. That's even what they said on the news that night. They said it was a bear, but I know what I saw. It wasn't a bear. It wasn't any animal I've ever seen. And the fact that there's a military research base not far from our school is just too much of a coincidence. But those of us who were in that classroom that day are smart enough to keep our mouths shut. But we know the truth. We'll always know the truth.